Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over a deck profile for Son Gohan, the U7 Gohan specifically. With a new ZENKAI series coming out next month, and the format, unfortunately seeming to go heavily into aggro, I decided to give this a shot. I remember U7 Gohan just having a lot of combo power, and Red just being absolutely cracked when it comes to combo power and just comboing cards. I felt like this was the perfect deck I can try out, see how I felt with it with the ZENKAI series. I'll go over a deck plus the ZENKAI deck that the Z deck that I've picked out. Bear in mind, since the cards are not out yet, these are printed cards. But I actually got this mainly U7 Gohan from another YouTuber. I'll put his link in the description down below. And that YouTuber was Rising Phoenix Odyssey. He posted a video about the top 5 best leaders that could go, older leaders that could go into the ZENKAI format and do really well. So decided to give it a shot. But anyway, Son Gohan, he's got the Warriors of Universe 7 ability, which means that all Universe 7 cards have no specified cost, which is fine. This deck is still going to be mono red. Auto, once per turn, when you use a Universe 7 card in a combo, draw one. This is a big one. His other ability is his Early Awakening cost. If you have 4 or less life, or you have a Unison card with a specified cost of 2 in play, you can draw one, switch one of your energy to active mode, take cards from your life until you have 5 left. Flip this card over. Becoming Son Gohan, the Power of Duty. Once again, still has the Warriors of Universe 7 skill. Still has the, when you use a U7 card in a combo, draw one. Now his other 2 abilities, which is Spirit Boost 1. Let's see if I can show it off without getting glaring here. Spirit Boost 1. When you remove a marker from your Unison, to activate the skill, yada yada, we all know what Spirit Boost does. When you use a red Skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 in a combo, it gets plus 6k combo power for the battle. So turning all of your, Skillless combo cards into 11k combo power, which is insane. And his other ability is once per turn, when one of your red Unison cards with a specified cost of 2 is in your Unison area, is placed in your drop area, choose up to 1 red Skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 in your drop area and play it. 2 Unison cost is pretty low, and usually makes them pretty easy for fodder, easy for attacks, I guess. So having a ability that triggers once they are KO'd helps quite a bit, to just play another Skillless card. Solid ability, but let's go over the deck real quick here. Alright, so your turn 1s are either going to be one of 2 things. The primary, if you were going first, you want to play this, which is 4 copies of Son Gohan Ultimate Essence. This is what makes the deck go round. It is a 1 cost. When you play it, look at the top 5 cards of your deck for a Universe 7 card with a cost of 4 or less and add it to your hand, or a Unison with a specified cost of 2. Just to clarify, just to make sure, yep. Add them to your hand. Then his auto is limit once per turn. Actually, hold on a second. Oh, yep, it can only happen once per turn. Okay, limit 1 at least. If your leader is a red card, whenever you use a Skillless battle card in play, use a Skillless battle card in a combo, draw 1. So combine that with your leader ability, using one of the Skillless U7 cards, you're drawing 2. Every time you combo with it, which is only once per turn, but still, it's awesome. Usually, if I'm going second, or if I go first and I didn't see this, I'm probably gonna play this Son Gokunimbus Master. This is kind of a little fun tech. Essentially, what it does. Is unique 15k. His auto ability is if it's your opponent's turn at the end of a battle in which this card is used in a combo, play up to 1 Skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less from your deck or drop area. Shuffle your deck if you look through it, and you cannot activate the autos on this card or copies of this card for the rest of the turn. So essentially, you combo with it. It's 10k, for 1, and then you get to play a 2-drop Skillless U7 card that you can then combo with to draw off your leader. Activate main +1. Send 1 Skillless card from your drop area to your warp. Play this card from your hand. So if you just want to get an extra, extra pressure for 1 energy, warp a Skillless card, get to play that. So, it's an option if you don't see this turn 1, which you really want to, but I just thought it was pretty neat. Now your Unisons you run in this deck. You run 4 copies of Frieza, Unlikely Savior, and 1 copy of Piccolo Jr., Descendant of the King. Now we all know this was the best red Unison in the game for the longest time until they limited it, which is fine. It needed to. It's absolutely cracked. This one is the Unison that was specifically designed for this archetype. Essentially, once per turn, if it's your turn, when you remove a marker from this card using a Spirit Boost skill, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or Unisons, and it gets minus 10k power for the turn. That's just its once per turn auto. Activate main +1. Place up to 1 red Skillless battle card from your drop area at the bottom of your deck. So it helps to restock your deck because the game does this deck does draw a lot of cards. Activate 0. Auto. When your opponent attacks, choose up to 1 Skillless Universe 7 card in your hand or drop area and combo with it. So this is a great ability to use on your opponent's turn. If you don't have any cards in your hand to combo with, you can at least combo 1 from your drop area. And we all know with the Z energy mechanic coming in, once per battle, when you combo with something, at the end of the combo step, you can place that card into your Z energy. So you're constantly being able to draw cards and put stuff into your Z energy with this deck. It's insane. We all know what this one does, though. It's activate. It's a +1 to draw 1. Its auto is insane. This is the reason why this card was the best red Unison in the game for a long time. When your opponent activates a counter skill, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 15k power or less and KO it. And that's not a once per turn. That is a anytime they activate a counter skill. So absolutely insane. Finally, its last ability really doesn't matter. It involves a rejuvenate, so we don't deal with that. Since we've been talking a lot about Skillless battle cards, let me show you the ones that we run in this deck. I run 2 copies of Skillless U7 Vegeta, 3 copies of Super Saiyan Goku, and 3 copies of Piccolo. A lot of people, when they run Skillless decks, usually only run about 6 cards, but because I want to see consistency with this deck, I run a total of 8. I didn't realize at first that this Vegeta counted as a U7 card until I looked at it later on. It just came out in set 16, so I was like, okay, yep, that's cool. I'm going to throw that in. And with 8 Skillless cards, you're always just going to see 1 in your opening hand, and it's just a lot easier to maintain your drawing with your 1-drop Gohan and your leader. But yeah, these are the Skillless cards you run. Along with the Skillless cards, you do also want to run this card, Android 18 Universe 7 Challenger. Her sole purpose really is to combo alongside your Skillless cards, because if you do that, then you get to draw an extra card. So there are going to be in certain situations where you can draw up to 3 cards comboing with just 2 cards. So you replace them, plus you're getting an extra card. It's absolutely insane. All right, and some other fun cards to work with in the deck. These are some standard, some not so standard. Standard one, you got your 2 copies of Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Son Goku. This card is great against cards of barrier because you just tap 2, drop it from your hand to the drop area, and you can neg something 25k. Or you can pay 3, play it. It's a 15k body, and it gives everything on your opponent's side of the board. KOs everything on your opponent's side of the board 20k power or less, not ignoring barriers. So it's great for controlling your opponent's board, and it's also a U7. So that's easily understandable. I run 2 copies of Vegeta Saiyan Tag Team. Now, this is a really neat card, and it's only really ever going to be used for combos. Actually, I'm sorry. This is the different Vegeta I'm thinking of. This one, really cool. It's Activate Battle. Tap 1 energy. Choose one of your U7 or Universe 6 battle cards being attacked. It gets plus 6k power until the end of my opponent's next turn. Then, play this card from your hand. You cannot activate another copy of this card for the turn. But imagine they're attacking one of my Universe 7 cards. I tap 1, play this. That card now gets an extra 6k boost until the start of my opponent's next turn. Meaning that it's going to have that 6k power during my next turn. If I'm doing this defensively. I'm sorry, until the end of my next turn. Not my opponent's next turn. And then I get a 20k body for 1 energy. That's really cool to me. I know I've seen a couple of U7 decks play this back in the day, but I still love this card. I think it's really cool. Next, I also run Vegeta Royal Evolution. This card got reprinted in the History of Vegeta set recently. I think this card is awesome. I've always liked it. But once again, it's mainly for combo power. It's a 15k body, but its auto is tap 1 red energy. If your opponent has 3 or more energy, and it's your turn, at the end of a battle in which you combo with this card from your hand, switch one of your mono red leader cards to active mode. Then, who is messaging me right now? Then that card gets 5k power and it has its keyword skills negated for the turn. You cannot activate non-keyword leader card skills or skills on copies of this card for the turn. So, essentially, I swing in with my leader. They stop it for whatever reason. Sorry, technical difficulties there. They swing in. They stop it for whatever reason. But I'm comboing it with this card. I tap the 1 energy. He restands. He gets 6k power. So then I get attack with him. I'm sorry, 5k power, and he gets attacks again for 20k. I think that's a really cool ability that, you know, this card provides for its leader. And then if my leader is mono red, and you discard this card from your hand after tapping 1 red energy, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 10k power for the turn. So also just a little bit of a board clear if need be, but I really think its first skill is the one you want to use. But yeah, those are some of the kind of flexibility cards you can put in this deck. One of the big boss monsters in this deck is the man himself, Son Goku Divine Presence. This card is absolutely insane for red. It is a 4-cost 20k with dual attack and deflect, but you play it for 2 if you have 2 red cards in your combo area. And when this card is played, well, first of all, you have to have 3 energy in order to do this. When this card is played, I choose up to one of my mono red cards, and he gets 5k power for the turn. That can be my leader, that can be any other red card on the board, a Unison, or this card in particular. So he can go from a 20 to a 25 just on board. Then, once per turn, when this card attacks, I can add up to 1 red Skillless battle card from my deck to my hand, and then this card gets another 5k power for the turn. So, if I give him the 5k from him being played, and then swings in, becomes another 5k, I essentially have a 30k dual attack for the turn, and I get to grab a Skillless card from my hand. From my deck to my hand. And its ability is that this card cannot be removed from the battle area by skills during my turn. So no ability is going to affect this unless it can blank it. Which, I mean, yellow can blank stuff, but this is just a great card to put pressure, and is definitely one of your top boss monsters. Now for the defense side of things. Counter plays, we got 2 Topo, Righteous Aid. We all know what it does. Essentially is your floodgate. 20k power is pretty solid though. Vegeta, Resolved Renewed. This is your counterplay. If you have 3 or more energy, this card is only a 1. Cannot talk today. Only costs 1 to play. So really cool. Stops your floodgates or any weak monsters from coming into play. typical red counter stuff. Next, I run, now these are the extra cards, 3 copies of Testing the Opposition. Token negates are where it's at. They are so good. For a long time, I was running only 3 copies of it, but 2 copies. But really, running 3 I think is the best, especially when your deck is heavily aggro and you need a lot of defense. It's the way to go. Run 2 copies of Violent Rays for those big heavy hitters. We all know what Violent Rays does. It stops big cards, big Unisons, big battle cards from swinging in with double strike and dual attack, triple strike, all that bad stuff. And then 3 copies of King Vegeta's Imposing Presence. Solid card. It's been getting a lot more play lately. Tap 1, you neg something, ignoring barrier, 10k, and then for the rest of the turn, if your opponent wants to attack, they get minus 5k. So they're automatically going to have to combo something if they're like 15k or less to get back to that original power. It's just solid card, and the permanent, if I have 3 or less life, I can activate it from my hand by discarding 1 card instead of its pay 1. So it can be free played essentially too. Super combos. I decided to run 50-50. Let's go 2 Raditz Saiyan Youth and 2 Backbone of Universe 7 Son Goku. This is awesome because it can be searched by your Gohan, because it's a 2-cost Universe 7, and it is active when you have 5 or less life. You draw 1 and it gets 10k. The Raditz is just good if you want to, draw more cards. It's active when you are 4 or less life. So it's good for later game. This is good for 5 or less because when you awaken, you take cards from your life until you have 5 left. So right off the bat, this card is active. It's a U7, so fits well with the deck. Now these are the one-ofs of the deck. 1 Supreme Kai for that double strike. 1 copy of the GT Crew because it's a great card to throw under your Unison. Play to wipe their field and then swing 30k triple attack. SS3 Goku, Man on a Mission for your Overrealm. Just double strike crit, so good. King Piccolo, New Ruler. Free play, double strike that blockers can't touch. And the secret rare that I'm running in this deck is the SS3 Gohanks Unison. Now, 1, I don't have the Vegeta SCR from Realm of the Gods. I really like this card because it's a board wipe in its own right, because when you play it, when you play it, choose all my opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and they get minus 25k power for the turn. So it's a board wipe. It's dual attack, blocker, 25k, sorry, plus 1. When your opponent attacks with a battle card, I may choose that card to get minus 25k power. So it adds even more defense on my opponent's turn. And then activate main, minus 4. This card gets 15k power and triple strike for the turn. And at the end of the turn, switch it back to active mode. Just a lot of aggression there. And I really like it. It's, it's definitely the later game play. But yeah, that's my preferred secret rare for the deck. Now, we're going to go into the ZENKAI Z deck. Now, like I said, I printed these out, and unfortunately, the printer at work does not have color. So hopefully these will show up. 3 copies of Rush Attack, SS Blue Vegeta. This is probably the best Z battle card in the game right now because of just the absurd abilities that it has. So, cost 2 red energy to play, and then 2 Z energy to play. And with how often this deck combos, getting Z energy is absolute child's play. Now here's the kicker. It's a 15k battle card. It has Deflect. When this card attacks, I choose up to 1 mono-red battle card with 5k combo power from my drop area and combo with it with its skills negated for the game. Then I choose one of my opponent's battle cards or Unisons and it gets minus 15k power for the turn. So guess what? I paid 2 Z energy to use it, combo with something from my drop area. It can trigger my leader, it can trigger Gohan, and the 1-drop Gohan, and then I throw that card that I combo with into the Z energy again. Now get this, it's activate main. Once per turn, if I have 4 or more Z energy, switch this card to active mode. And it gets 10k power, Double Strike, and Barrier for the turn. So base attack with it, untap it, it now attacks for 25k Double Strike with Barrier. Once again, I can then combo something from the drop area and throw it in my Z energy. So it essentially replaces its own Z energy cost. That's just nuts. I think this card is absolutely cracked, and I would not be surprised if it got limited because of how powerful it is. So that's the first Z energy. Z battle card. The second one is SS4 Son Goku, Defender of Life. Now this card comes in the red starter deck for the next set, and its ability is a deflect 20k Double Strike. When this card is played, I place it to 1 Saiyan from my drop area under this card, which a lot of Saiyans in this deck, so I can easily do that. This card gets Barrier for the turn. Additionally, if my opponent has 4 or more life, deal 1 damage to them. So this card costs 2 normal energy and 3 Z energy. Z energy is very easy in this deck. And this just being able to burn one of your opponent's life is insane. And do a Double Strike with Barrier, that's nuts. The bottom ability does not really matter since my leader's not Pan. But yeah, this is the Gohan U7 deck that I'm testing out right now, and so far it's been pretty disgusting. The amount of cards I can draw and combo with and interact with other cards is just insane. I haven't built a sideboard for this deck yet. I'm still kind of figuring that out, but this is basically what I'm working on and going to be testing out for a while. Like I said, ZENKAI series really seems to be heavily favorable to aggro decks. I've been testing out some the blue ZENKAI deck with the new Goku promo reprint, and it's just not been that good. It's too slow. It doesn't build Z energy quick enough. And I feel like that's going to be a problem for any non-aggro decks in this format. But hey, we'll have to find out next month when the series actually launches. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any comments, suggestions, thoughts, leave them in the comments down below. And I'll see you on the next video. Take care.